On the sun-scorched savannah of Kenya, herds of wildebeest and zebra are crossing the fierce Mara River, facing predators lurking everywhere. Will they reach the other side? Or will they forever remain in the fierce cycle of life and death? Kenya, the fierce migration of the wild savannah. East Africa. Kenya appears like a majestic symphony of wild nature. On the vast Masai Mara plain, where the sun-scorched red soil meets the deep blue sky, each gust of wind makes the tall grass bend. The pristine beauty here is also the stage for one of the greatest natural wonders of the world, the great migration of millions of wild animals. Every year, when the dry season comes from the Serengeti, the grass withers, the water dries up, and life seems to be silent. However, from that demise, a new wave of life begins. Ancient instincts arise like an invisible signal spreading across the savannah. And so hundreds of thousands of creatures take the steps of life, of survival, and of the eternal cycle. When the savannah changes seasons, from afar, the first figures begin to appear, the wildebeest. With their homing instincts, they are the pioneers in starting the Great Migration, paving the way for the flow of creatures into Kenya. With their sturdy bodies, dark grey fur and curved horns, they carry the symbol of strength and endurance. More than 1 million individuals move at the same time, forming a giant river of creatures flowing through the land and sky. Not as agile as many other species, wildebeest survive thanks to their herd instincts. When in danger, the whole herd changes direction, making it difficult for predators to attack. It is their cohesion that is the strongest weapon that helps them overcome the harsh journey. During the migration, they pave the way, create living shields, and help weaker species overcome challenges. They are the heartbeat of the migration that is constantly moving, constantly fighting for life. Against the sweltering sky, the ground shook with the rhythm of the hooves of the moving herd of wildebeest. But in the midst of this seemingly peaceful scene, danger was lurking in the waist-high yellow grass. A cheetah had locked onto its target. With a slender body, long legs, a deep chest, and a spine as flexible as a spring, The cheetah is the fastest animal in the world. Its sharp eyes were fixed on a young antelope that had just separated from the herd. With its spotted fur that provided perfect camouflage in the sun-baked grassland, the cheetah approached its prey in just a few light steps. Without a sound, without any warning. And then it exploded. Just a few seconds later, its sharp claws struck the prey's hind leg. In the distance, the herd of antelope continued to walk as if nothing had happened. In this fierce journey, death was inevitable. And life was still forced to continue moving forward. Interspersed among the large herds of antelope are black and white stripes of zebras, the silent pioneers of the migration. With sharp eyesight and a sensitive sense of smell, zebras are able to detect danger from afar and remember the route through many migration seasons. They often go first, scouting the way, leading the whole group through dangerous lands. The close-knit, tightly organized herd structure helps them protect each other, especially young horses. When attacked, they do not panic, but can counterattack with powerful kicks. In this journey of survival, zebras are the eyes of the leading migration group, leading the way and warning of danger to those who follow. In the midst of the bustling migration, small but agile bodies weave through the large herds of antelope such as Thompson, Grant, and Impala. Although not prominent in number, they are an important link in the constantly moving ecosystem. The small Thompson's gazelle, with its distinctive black stripes running down its flanks, is known for its agility and its ability to leap dramatically to escape danger. The larger and stronger Grant's gazelle is usually found in small but close-knit groups. The impala is extremely agile, able to leap up to 3 meters in the air when threatened, making impressive escape leaps across the savannah. Unlike large species that rely on numbers or navigation, these antelope survive by being cautious and reacting quickly. They are always alert, keeping a reasonable distance from large herds and ready to change direction as soon as they detect unusual movements. During their migration, they are symbols of flexibility and adaptation, those who survive by being agile and alert in a land where everything can become a predator. The journey continues, and the Kenyan savannah gradually turns into a silent battlefield. As the herds move through open land, where the trees are sparse and the grass is as high as their waists, predators begin to appear. Every step is not only a journey to find life, but also a bet with death. Not far away, under the shade of a sparse tree, a family of lions is resting in the harsh sun. The male leader lies quietly, surrounded by the females, the true hunters of the pride. They watch the approaching herd. The lion cubs played around beside them, not knowing that today might be the first day they witnessed a hunt. The lions were in no hurry. They waited, observed carefully, and chose the weakest prey. As the sun began to set, the pride of lions would change from their leisurely demeanor to their cold, precise hunting instincts. As the sun began to cast long shadows on the savannah, the pride of lions stood up. Their footsteps were light, as if gliding over the grass, without a single unnecessary sound. Today's target, a herd of zebras grazing not far away. They were busy looking for fresh grass, not sensing the approaching danger. A young zebra was a little slow. That was the target. Suddenly, a lioness rushed out from the grass. The zebras panicked and ran away, but it was too late for the cub. In just a few seconds, the hunt was over. The lions had succeeded. The lion cubs ran in, tasting for the first time the meat of a wildlife where instinct is the only rule for survival. While the lions enjoyed their spoils, in another part of the plains, another clan of spotted hyenas was also moving. Often associated with the strange laughter and reputation of being scavengers, but few people know that this is one of the most effective and tightly organized predators in Africa. led by large, decisive and resourceful female leaders. Under their tight command, the hyenas hunted tactically, meticulously coordinated, no less than any lion pride. And when night fell, they became the haunting force of the savannah, tenacious, stubborn, and always knowing how to wait for the right moment. The two predatory forces, the proud lions and the wise hyenas, were now beginning to pay attention to the migration. For them, it was a dry season feast. For the migrants, it was a place where life and death were only a step apart. After days of traversing scrub, scorched grasslands and dangerous deserted fields, the caravan finally reached the most severe challenge of their journey, the Mara River. Under the scorching sun, the river water swirled turbidly, the other side green as a promise. But to get there, they had to cross the fierce waters that hid the deadliest creatures in the land, the Nile crocodiles. Hidden beneath the surface, their cold eyes peeping out of the water, the old crocodiles had been waiting all day. They knew that this was the season when the feast began, and today they had chosen the wildebeest as their target. As the herd began wading into the river, the current was quickly stirred by hundreds of hooves. In the chaos, a young wildebeest lost its balance, slower than the others. In a split second of hesitation, the water suddenly broke. On the shore, the others continued to move forward, as if they were unaware of the fate that had just happened behind them. For them, hesitation meant death. And the crocodiles, like gods in the dark, silently waited for others who missed a beat. Crossing the Mara River was not part of the journey, but the harshest test of wildlife. Those who crossed would live. Those who slowed down would become a meal for the silent predators under the water. other side of the Mara River, the lush green grass finally welcomed the survivors. After the fierce journey, this was where life began to regenerate. Just a few days after arriving, the wildebeest herd gave birth en masse. The calves were born en masse, quickly standing up and learning to walk in just a few minutes, a survival instinct in the harsh nature. Zebras, Thompson's gazelles, impalas also began their birthing season. In the sky, dark clouds gathered. The first rains of the season fall on the cracked earth, awakening life from the roots. The plains revive, grass grows rapidly, streams overflow. Not only predators, but also harsh weather threatens the survival of the young. But just hours after birth, they can stand up, run after their mothers, and join the never-ending migration, a miraculous ability of nature to adapt. The migration has come to an end, but it is also the beginning of another cycle, where new life is just germinated between the sound of rain and the first cry of a calf. The rainy season ends, the grass withers, the water dries up. The Masai Mara plains are no longer the promised land. Once again, ancient instincts arise. Wildebeest, zebra and other antelopes begin to gather, preparing to leave, this time heading south. The journey begins again, with familiar dangers, lions, hyenas, crocodiles, and raging rivers. But they still move forward because that is the cycle of life. The migration cycle closes, only to open a new journey. On the Kenyan savannah, life never stops moving. That is the endless cycle of wild nature. The Great Migration in Kenya is not only a magnificent natural phenomenon, but also a profound survival lesson from wild nature. Wildebeest and zebra survive thanks to the strength of the herd. When one detects danger, the whole herd immediately changes direction, causing disturbance and preventing the predator from attacking. This is an instinctive reflex formed through millions of years of evolution. Zebras and Thompson's gazelles have extremely sensitive eyes and hearing, helping to detect danger from a distance. In an environment where death is always lurking, quick reflexes are a vital factor. Antelope calves only take a few minutes to stand up, a few hours to run with the herd. They do not have time to be weak and adapt right from birth, which is a mandatory condition for survival. When hundreds of thousands of babies are born at the same time, predators cannot catch up. It is nature's smart survival strategy, creating suffocation to increase the survival rate. After harsh days, the rain returns, the plains revive, life flares up. The migration cycle begins again, closing a journey and opening a new life cycle. In nature, life never stops, as long as you know how to adapt and keep moving forward. How do you feel about survival stories? Remember to leave a comment below the video. Hit the bell. Subscribe so you don't miss the next wild stories from the majestic natural world. Kenya, the stage of endless battles between hunter and hunted, the chases. Not all predators roar, not all dominate with strength. They come without warning. They strike without hesitation, and each time they strike, nature witnesses a perfect moment of instinct. Kenya, the silent hunters. In the low-lying grasslands and forested swamps of sub-Saharan Africa, there is a creature that few people notice. Not as big as a lion, not as prominent as a leopard, but with its antenna-like ears, slender build and extraordinary leaps, it is one of the most skilled hunters in the wild. It is the African lynx, also known as the serval. The lynx has a slender body, unusually long legs compared to its body size. An adult weighs about 8 to 18 kilograms, stands about 60 centimeters at the shoulder, and is about a meter long, including the tail. Its creamy gold fur with black spots creates an ideal camouflage pattern among the weeds and forest edges. Its ears are large and rounded, jet black with a prominent white mark, which helps in silent communication between mother and cub, and also acts as a super-sensitive acoustic radar. Unlike many other cats, lynxes have an uneven ratio of forelimbs to hind limbs. Their longer hind limbs allow them to leap vertically, reaching heights of more than 3 meters in a single bound. Their eyes are not particularly large, but their ability to locate sounds is astonishing. The lynx has an average lifespan of 10 to 12 years in the wild and can live longer in captivity. As the evening light fades over the grasslands, the sparse forest begins to fall silent. But the lynx is at its most active. In the last of the day's light, it moves slowly through the dense grass, its ears erect like 2 delicate antennas. Each step is light, but its entire body is tense like a string, ready to react instantly. With its exceptionally sensitive ears, the lynx can hear the ultrasonic frequencies that mice emit when they communicate or move through the grass. It doesn't need to see its prey. It just needs to hear the slightest sound. The scrape of tiny claws against roots, the sound of a piece of grass being pushed aside when a mouse moves, is analyzed in real time. Once it has pinpointed the exact location of its prey beneath the thick grass, the lynx stops, completely still. Ears tilted toward the sound, eyes narrow. Breathing slows, all the energy is concentrated on the hind legs. The jump is about to begin. And then, in less than the blink of an eye, it is launched vertically into the air. When it lands, both front legs will slam down on the spot where the mouse was just, with enough force to kill or paralyze it instantly. If the prey is not dead, the lynx will use its teeth to quickly bite the back of the neck, ending the hunt in seconds. The lynx usually eats in a secluded place, avoiding revealing its location to larger predators. It does not hoard, nor does it carry prey back to the nest. Each meal is a neat, efficient, and quiet end. During a night, an adult lynx can carry out up to 10 to 20 such ambushes. And although each prey weighs only a few dozen grams, they contribute to providing almost all the energy needed to maintain its flexible body and survival ability. The lynx is solitary. Only pairing during the breeding season. A female is usually in heat at any time of the year, but the peak usually coincides with the rainy season when food sources are abundant. After a short chase and mating, the male will leave and the female will take care of the entire pregnancy, birth, and feeding process. The gestation period lasts about 75 days. The female will give birth to 1 to 3 young in a small den or in the middle of a bush. The young are born blind, weak, and completely dependent on their mother. For the first 2 weeks, the mother does not leave the nest for long. Once the young are strong enough, they are taught to hunt by observing and playing with live prey. Boats play an important role in the ecosystem. By controlling large rodent and insect populations, they help maintain a balanced food chain, limiting disease and agricultural damage in marginal areas. In northern Kenya, where the rocky hills and arid plains of Laikipia alternate, there is no place truly safe. The weather is unpredictable. Humans and large predators compete for land. And in the midst of this harsh landscape, a pack of creatures survives. Not by force, but by cohesion. The African wild dog. The predator is disappearing from much of the continent, but it still clings to a few wild corners of Kenya. Quiet, without roaring, it hides in the bushes, shallow streams and dirt roads that only it calls home. The African wild dog is one of the most distinctive predators in the animal kingdom. Unlike any other dog, it carries a distinct genetic makeup that sets it apart from all its close relatives. Its slender body, long legs, broad chest, large round ears and short muzzle are easily recognizable. An adult weighs an average of 20 to 32 kilograms. They are not tall but compact, muscular and run gracefully. Their short mottled coat comes in three main colors, black, yellow and white, forming unique patterns that are unique to each individual. Like human fingerprints, their ears are not just for listening. With a large surface area, they help dissipate heat and regulate body temperature during continuous movement. Their eyesight is good, but not as good as their hearing. Their eyes are relatively small but sensitive enough to detect movement from a distance. Sharp teeth and strong jaws allow them to tear flesh quickly and efficiently. African wild dogs are creatures born to run. Their bone and body structure are optimized for high average speed and long-term endurance. They can maintain speeds of 50 to 60 kilometers per hour for several minutes at a time, a trait rarely seen in any other predator. Unlike lions or leopards, wild dogs do not rely on individual strength or sheer surprise. They rely on a pack strategy, where each member of the group plays an indispensable role. This is not an individual hunt. This is a group dance. Before each hunt, the pack greets each other with a distinctive high, short and continuous bird-like screech. These signals help to bond the spirit and synchronize movements. Once the target is identified, usually a gazelle, impala, warthog or even a small zebra, the chase begins. No ambush, no silence. They run straight. One group leads the chase. Another group circles from the side to apply pressure. Finally, when the prey cannot keep up the pace, the pack surrounds and quickly attacks weak points such as the legs and throat. Once down, the prey is torn apart within minutes. Each pack of wild dogs has a breeding pair of alpha females. The alpha female is the only one who gives birth, while the rest of the group helps care for, protect, and raise the young. This is one of the rare communal parenting systems among carnivores. The estrus period usually falls during the dry season, when prey is easier to find and living conditions are more stable. After mating, the female will be pregnant for 70 to 75 days and give birth to 6 to 16 pups in a burrow. During the time the female is in the nest, the pack takes turns hunting and bringing food back to feed her. When the pups begin to emerge from the burrow, they are taught to communicate, recognize pack scents, and observe hunts from a distance. At around 2 to 3 months of age, they begin to move with the pack and are completely protected. The social structure of the African wild dog is very tight. All behavior revolves around the survival of the group. Members share work. Decisions are made collectively. And any stray individual will be found by the pack within a few days. If alive. The biological success of the African wild dog does not lie in dominance or power. It lies in camaraderie and collective discipline. A model of operation based on trust, something not all predators have. As the sun began to retreat from the grasslands, leaving the last streaks of light on the fine dust, the wild dogs retreated to their resting place. The mottled grey shadows lay close together, breathing slow after a long hunt. A slender figure, spotted all over, moved like smoke. Not in a hurry, not in a hurry, but completely purposeful. Yellow eyes wide open, ears swiveled at every sound, feet touching the ground without making a sound. This was not a predator that needed a pack. A silent wanderer between the boundary between darkness and the late day light. A being of control and patience, leopard. The perfect loner. Of all the large predators in Africa, leopards are the least seen. Not because they are rare, but because they are good at hiding. With With its flexible body and powerful compression in every step, the leopard is the embodiment of absolute grace and control. An adult weighs from 30 to 80 kilograms depending on sex and habitat. Its long body, arched back, strong hind legs and long tail help maintain perfect balance. The golden brown fur with black spots not only creates beauty but also provides ideal camouflage among the broken sunlight on the forest floor and savanna. The leopard's eyes are sharp and have good light reflexes. It has a keen sense of smell, but not as good as its hearing and night vision. Its strong teeth, flexible shoulder structure and strong neck muscles allow it to pull prey heavier than itself up to the top of a 3-meter-high tree without losing momentum. Outstanding climbing and jumping ability. The leopard can jump up to 6 meters horizontally and 3 meters vertically in one leap. This mobility makes it the most adaptable big cat in many environments. From jungles to mountains to savannas and even close to human settlements. Unlike lions or wild dogs, leopards do not hunt in packs. They are solitary individuals, hunting alone, living alone, and protecting their own territory in the dark. This makes their hunting techniques more individualized and flexible than any other large predator in Africa. During the day, leopards hide in the canopy or under the shade of large rocks. At night, they move as light as the wind. Every step is calculated. They hunt not by speed, but by position. They do not chase, but stalk. They do not threaten, but exploit the blind spots of their prey. The leopard's prey is diverse. From small antelopes, monkeys, porcupines, to birds, lizards, and even wild dogs. Sometimes the leopard will kill prey as large as a young zebra or an adult antelope if conditions are favorable. The afternoon gradually falls on the Kenyan savanna. The last rays of the day break into golden fragments through the treetops, drawing streaks of light across the dry ground. The air seems to stop breathing. And in that silence, a figure glides through the low grass quickly, without a sound. Leopard. An adult male, graceful in his gait, yellow eyes scanning slowly through the bushes. He has been watching this impala herd since early morning, waiting, moving along. But not making a move. A young impala is slowing down, deviating from the group. That is his target. The leopard presses its body close to the ground. The ears rotate with each small movement. When the opportunity comes, the leopard begins its hunting strategy. The hunt is over. The leopard does not eat on the spot. It uses its teeth to drag its prey into the bushes or climb a tree a few meters above the ground. In the tree, it is safe from hyenas, wild dogs, or even lions. The leopard can hide its prey there for 2 to 3 days, eating it gradually and spreading out the time so as not to attract attention. The ability to hide its prey and choose where to kill makes it an extremely efficient survivor, although it is always challenged by those who are stronger in number and strength. Leopards are solitary except during the breeding season. A female will go into heat for a few days each year, signaling with scent and a low call. The male will follow, approach carefully, and mate for a few days. After that, the two separate. Gestation lasts 3 to 3.5 months. Females choose a secluded cave or tree hollow to give birth. A litter usually consists of 1 to 3 cubs. The cubs are born blind, weak, and completely dependent on their mother. For the first 6 weeks, they do not leave the nest. When they are old enough, their mothers begin to teach them by bringing them live prey. Their first hunting lessons begin with a missed attempt. A fall, a crawl, and then another try. It is a survival stage. Only about a third of cubs survive to adulthood. Dangers come from other predators, snakes, wildfires, and competition from other leopards. Despite their reclusive nature, leopards play an important role in the ecosystem. They control the population of small herbivores, preventing disease outbreaks from weak animals. At the same time, they leave behind leftover prey, providing food for hyenas, vultures, and insects. Leopards are not kings of the savanna, but they are artists of the shadows, a quiet yet profound existence. Their every move is not to dominate, but to survive long enough in a world where the wrong view can mean death. Kenya is more than a land. It is a wild, beating heart. A symphony woven of roars, hisses, footsteps, and silence. Here, every creature, whether large as an elephant or small as a lynx, plays a role in a fragile but resilient web of survival. They do not live to dominate. They exist to maintain balance. And it is because of their presence that this world still has a place where nature can live properly. No corrections, no explanations. Kenya is a chapter in the book of Earth that we are still writing. Every hunt, every birth. Every time humans choose to preserve rather than invade. These are all answers to the questions we still ask ourselves. Are we conscious enough to preserve wilderness, not just as a memory, but as part of the future?